Thou shalt not do stupid things and then blame someone else or some company for your own stupidity. Voting for what you as an individual feel is the right thing. There's a point where you have to stand up and take care of yourself. Why can't we secure our borders? They don't want to address the real problem. We were providing health care, room and board for someone the state's going to execute. I just happen to think that we as a country, as a people, and as individuals, we can do a little bit better. You would think that one of the commandments said, thou shalt pay taxes. We hold that tighter than anything else. We'll let people off for almost anything else, but mess around, don't pay your taxes. Someone's coming to get you. Okay, let's try this. Let's take the thou shalt out of the commandments and replace it with the word do. Now, would that provide a separation of church? You know, I guess it's where the book it comes from. So I guess if it was in every religious book, it wouldn't be such a problem. But since it comes from one book and the other ones don't list out, don't kill, don't steal, don't covet, I guess that makes it wrong. Now, what's the difference? Is it right to steal? Is it right to kill and cheat and work on Sunday and sleep with your neighbor's wife and do all that? Well, I guess in an election year, maybe, you know, because never mind, that was a cheap shot. But if you go back and look in our history, we had politicians that broke laws, slept with people, did all, who was that, Nixon? He knew about break-ins, all that, stolen stuff. All he had to do was quit his job. He didn't spend not one day in jail, so it must be okay. Now, here's the question I have. Have we become so desensitized to crime and pitiful living that we ignore some of the fundamental rules of living? Or are we diluting our moral base by trying to include everyone around the world? The U.S. is so determined to include everyone, it forgets the people who are here and how the nation became great. Spreading democracy across the planet does not mean changing or altering your ideals at home. Do not dilute what you started and how you made it work, or it's not going to continue. The Ten Commandments have worked for this country for hundreds of years. With that being said, I think this falls in the category of stick with the horse that brought us. And you know what? Even if it's not the Ten Commandments, we need something to stand behind because we as a country are failing fast. I can't think of one of the commandments that someone hasn't found a way to weasel out of in court. Now, if we don't want the Ten Commandments in the courthouse, then let's put up something that guides us. Because if we don't, someone's going to steal the scale out of the blind lady of justice's hand. They're going to kill her. And then they're going to say, you know what? She brought it on herself. For all of you who want the Ten Commandments removed from the government buildings, I would like to introduce some commandments we could replace them with. So here you go. Here they go. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's retirement plan. Thou shalt not do stupid things and then blame someone else or some company for your own stupidity. Thou shalt not knowingly harm someone for profit. Like, what were those drugs? Fen-Phen-Vix? Somebody tell me what those drugs were. But anyway, here's another. Thou shalt raise and take responsibility for your children. Thou shalt not take money out of my paycheck before I get it. Put the money into Social Security on my behalf and then tell me there's no money. Thou shalt not have multiple children for the sake of getting more money from the government. I guess that kind of goes back to support your own kids. Is that more like common sense? I guess so. All right, here we go. Thou shalt not pull my car over just because my skin color is different. Thou shalt not build and maintain a public road or building with tax dollars, then charge citizens for its use. I don't need a toll road, especially when I paid for it. Thou shalt not bomb, blow up, or slam a plane, train, or car into anything. That makes sense. Little terrorist runner. That makes no sense to me. Okay, here's another. Thou shalt not attack another country without proof that they actually have weapons of mass destruction. thou shalt keep the price of gasoline under $1 a gallon. Okay, I added that last one in, so okay, it's more than 10, but that was just for good measure. You know, maybe I'm looking at this wrong. I mean, it's happened before, but I see the Ten Commandments as a basis for living, and we can extrapolate any answers we need from them. And let's just face facts. Almost every document or facet that established the basis for this country has references to God in a Christian sense. Some may not like the Ten Commandments as a guidepost for doing what's right, but for whatever reason, but you know, until somebody comes up with a better list, and I think this one is a pretty good one, I think we need to stick with it. I mean, come on, folks. What's next? We're going to start removing nativity scenes from Christmas? Oh, yeah. In God we trust. That's how I see it. Thanks for joining me this week on the Bougie side. See you next week. We need to help protect and support the people that defend and protect us. You take the money away from your own kids to rebuild someone else's country. How can a convicted criminal have it better than the ordinary working person? The U.S. right now is so determined to include everyone, it forgets the people who are here. Somehow the brightest minds in government thought of this plan. Has anyone from the White House or Congress taken a look at minority test scores? Make no mistake. I think the United States is the best country on the planet.